Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the emergency episode, Innings Insights. We have breaking news coming out of the baseball world. Blake Snell on a 2-year, $62 million deal to our San Francisco Giants. I was on a plane. I was very high in the sky. I got the tweet. I didn't believe it because it was John Heyman. So I kind of waited about a minute or two until somebody else broke it. The news got broke. He's officially on the San Francisco Giants after a few days ago. The Yankees had offered him a contract of over $100 million. So he comes to the Giants now with a short-term contract, less money than we thought he was going to get, and more opt-outs.
It's crazy. Just like you said, they offered him over $100 million just a couple of days ago, and he said no. And then he comes to the Giants on 2 years, $62 million. I mean, crazy. I'm not going to say no to that. I think if you look at it from both sides, great for the Giants. I think it's great for him. Perfect fit. It's hard to say that he turned down $100 million, though, but I love this. This is great. Go Giants.
Yeah, I think it's a great move. I think this piece to the rotation and to the Giants overall just solidifies that this team is going to compete for the playoffs. They're going to be playoff contenders undoubtedly. And as surprising as it is, we expected him to go to a team that would offer him over $100 million. At the beginning of last week, the Giants were no longer the front runners because they weren't going to be willing to put up that much money. And the teams like the Angels were still in the mix. The Yankees, of course, were in the mix after Garrett Cole went down with that injury. He's out 1 to 2 months, so they emerged as the for sure favorites. And the Giants
even the Astros.
Yeah, even the Astros. We heard that a couple days ago. They went to watch him throw the other day, a 4-inning simulation game, and the Astros were a surprising team that was in the mix, but it kind of makes sense. We talked about the rotation in one of our episodes already, but the Giants just came in and do what the Giants don't do. They got a big name free agent.
Exactly. I mean, I know that they've been trying, and I know that we keep hearing this. They at least try, and they try, and they try to get these big guys, and they never do. But this is our guy, I think. I mean, I know it's only could potentially be a 1-year deal, so not much of a guy for us long term, but what a great off season they've had. And then Snell at the top, the big guy.
Yeah, can we definitively say now that the Giants have had the best off season of any team this year?
No.
No?
No, I want to say yes, obviously, Giants fan here, but Big Brother is still out there, and they got Shohei, and they got Yamamoto. They got Glass now. They got Paxton. They got who else did they get? Their left fielder. They got from the Seattle Mariners.
Teoscar Hernandez.
Teoscar Hernandez. That's it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's hard to compete with that, but this is a close second. My goodness, and maybe I'm a biased Giants fan, but I think this puts them in a clear second place. So we're at least fighting with the Diamondbacks for second place.
I definitely believe that the Giants are second place is theirs to lose absolutely now after making that move. We talked about it earlier, you and I. Outside of this, the projected rotation for the Giants, especially in the second half of the season, just looks unbelievable. You have it highlighted by the Cy Young Award winner last year in Blake Snell, the guy that finished just behind him in second place in Logan Webb. You have Robbie Ray, who was also a former Cy Young Award winner, Alex Cobb, who was an all-star last year, and Kyle Harrison, the best lefty prospect in all of baseball. And on top of that, you have guys like Jordan Hicks, who came over in this offseason, that could be a starter, but maybe just for the beginning of the year. And, second half, when guys get healthy again, you move them to that back end of the bullpen, like we saw in St. Louis and in Toronto as well. But I think
I know he wants to start.
He does want to
start.
He
wants to start. He signed as a starter, but you're right. I don't think there's any way he makes it to the whole season as a starter. Love the guy. I think he's got crazy talent.
Yeah.
He's
looked
an
filthy.
eighth-inning guy.
Looked filthy this spring.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep, and I think the signing just adds a new dynamic to the team, to the NL West. Like we talked about, the Giants are definitely competing for second place now. Again, the Dodgers are known for choking, but in the playoffs, the regular season has always been theirs. But I want to hear what you think. unbiased, I know biased, we want to say that they may have a chance to win the division. Maybe, but even that seems slim being biased as it is. Do you think they have a chance to win the division?
The Giants?
The Giants.
Unbiased? No, I don't. I don't think there's any possible way that the Dodgers don't win this, even if 4 different people get hurt. I think that's their division. But as you said, they like to choke when it matters most, and I don't think they're getting anywhere past the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely not. And we've seen that for years now, that they just can't make it past. They don't win when it matters most. Let's talk about Blake Snell's numbers a little bit last year. We know
I'm looking at them right now.
He won the Cy Young in San Diego. A 2.25 ERA. He went 14-9 with the team. He led the league in hits per 9 at 5.8. An ERA plus of 182. And he also led the league in walks at 99. Finished first in Cy Young voting and 13th in MVP voting. And we also know back in 2018 with the Rays, he won the Cy Young, had an even better year, just a phenomenal year back then.
Mm-hmm.
Led the league
21-5 that year.
21-5, a 1.89 ERA, an ERA plus of 217. What are we getting from a guy like Blake Snell?
I mean, you're getting the person that just won the National League Cy Young in the same division, which shows that he is more than capable of doing it again against these same players. The one thing I want to point out is that those 2 years that he did win the Cy Young seem to be somewhat outliers compared to the rest of his career. I mean, he had a great career, but you see 4.29, 4.2, 4.04. So really, it's like, which one are we getting? I think that he's a great pitcher, and I've been saying this the whole offseason that I want him, and I want him to be our number 2, and I think that he's going to be our number 2, but just trying to be a little bit in the middle here. Like, maybe we get a closer to a 3 ERA, and I'm very happy with that.
Definitely.
Plus, I mean, I'm not a big free pass kind of guy. I'm not a big walks guy, but obviously he seems to have limited the damage, figured it out. So he's got a great defense behind him too. So we're good. And you've got the person that should have won the Gold Glove at catcher last year behind the plate. So if there's somebody at first trying to run, I think Bailey can throw him out.
Yeah, Patty Bales. And we know that Blake Snell is known for kind of having a slow, coming at you slow from the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And guys like to steal bases on him. I mean, this guy, the reason that, you and I talked about was I didn't want him because of how inconsistent he was, how much he walks guys, how little innings that he throws in a game. I make the joke all the time, this guy doesn't go past the 4th inning. And when the report came out that he had a 4-inning simulated game, I thought that was just, a joke within itself because, this guy never goes past the 4th inning. Do you think Bob Melvin is going to let him just go out there and compete past the 5th inning? Because this guy was with Melvin last year as well. The last few years, actually.
I agree. Yeah, I think, yes, that he will give him more of a leash. Obviously, he has proven himself as a good pitcher that can handle it. So, yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with him throwing those extra innings if he wants to. Obviously, we see that he doesn't need to. He still won the Cy Young without it. Because here's the thing. I want to try and pair both of them together. Him with Webb, who led the league in innings last year. So you've got that. You've got Snell. Them together, perfect combination. And also, I want to point out, out of all pitchers, he still had 180 innings, which was tied for 24th in the league last year.
Okay.
That's not, 180 innings is pretty much standard for pitchers this year. If you're throwing more than that, you're really good.
You are really good. And you have a guy like Robbie Ray that's going to be coming off of injury. I kind of want to talk about him a little bit and what he brings to that rotation because, when you look at this rotation top to bottom, the real flaw, and we've talked about this so many times, is the injury bug. And I think the weak link in this rotation is Alex Cobb, who was an all-star last year, and he's had a great, last 2 seasons. But Robbie Ray in 2022, he had a 3.7 ERA, an ERA plus of 100, so league average. But the year before that, he won the Cy Young in Toronto. A 2.8 ERA, led the league in innings pitched at 193. He started 32 games that year. He led the league in strikeouts at 248. An ERA plus at 157 led the league. And a whip of 1045 led the league as well. These numbers look good.
He was really good. He definitely deserved it.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think it's another one of those situations where it's like he had a good season. His career as a whole, not as good as we would hope. But, I mean, he might slot in as like the 4 or 5 starter on this team, especially because he doesn't come back until July.
Yeah.
Probably at the earliest. So, I mean, I love that trade too. Another lefty. You know, I'm a big lefty pitcher guy.
You are.
That's 3 of them in our rotation now.
Yes. 3 very good lefties.
Absolutely.
I'm excited.
So am I. I mean, we'll have to see what happens. He's probably going to get the ball second day in San Diego from opening weekend. So it's going to be great.
We were almost there, but, other events stopped that from happening. But we'll be at the home opener.
Exactly. I already have the day off.
There you go. Beautiful. So do I, which, nothing new.
Anything else you want to add to this emergency podcast?
I think we pretty much covered it all. I mean, like Matt Chapman, this deal includes opt-outs. His opt-out comes after the 2024 season. Another, weird Boris kind of thing, in this market for Scott Boris's clients has not been very good and not what we were expecting to happen. We were all expecting all these Boris guys to get over $100 million. Cody Bellinger was supposed to get in the range of $120 million. He got, $80 million?
86 or something like that?
Million?
Yeah.
Matt Chapman, $150 million he was supposed to get. His contract is 53, I think, right?
Something like that, yeah.
And then now we have Blake Snell, another Boris guy, $62 million. 2 years.
You know who else is a Boris guy? Jung-Hoo Lee.
Jung-Hoo Lee, yes, but
who got way more
than
people
was
thought.
expected. Yep, Yep, that I do remember.
And then we still have Jordan Montgomery out there, which I don't think anyone's heard anything about him. Not a word.
No, nothing. The Red Sox were supposed to be the guys that were going to go out and get him, but they're not going to compete this year, so I don't know if, you just don't waste the money on him.
JD Martinez is out there too.
Dude, JD Martinez put up over 30 home runs last year, if I remember correctly.
It was like 37 or something, and no one's talking about him either. It's crazy. This market's crazy.
Yeah, this market. 33 home runs last year. He hit 271. Okay, and he was an all-star.
Yeah, exactly.
So weird. We'll have to see where he goes.
I'm ready.
This market's just weird. And maybe now the Yankees go out and get Jordan Montgomery because they didn't get Blake Snell, or they go out and they get Trevor Bauer. One more thing I'd like to add before we wrap up this emergency podcast. More Giants news today. They are parting ways with the longtime PA announcer, Renell Brooks-Moon, my girl.
Yeah, that's sad. I mean, she's been there since the opening of the ballpark. So you and I have been to many, many, many games there. It's not going to be the same.
No, we grew up with her voice in that ballpark. All the World Series, all the player announcements, all the opening days. It was just, I just remember her and her iconic voice that she has. And, she'll be missed. But, that's the tough part of baseball. Business is business.
She's been doing that for longer than you've been alive.
Yeah, 2000 was when she started with the Giants. And now, we'll see what the future holds for her, but we wish her nothing but the best. We love her. And
I think she'll stick around. She'll be in the city.
Yeah, maybe she'll take a radio gig with KBR, because she was on the radio before she was with the Giants.
She can do it.
I believe in her, and, like I said, we're going to miss her. We love her, but we wish her nothing but the best. Business is business. It is what it is.
Exactly.
Anything else you got for us? I saw you threw on the Giants jersey just for the episode, huh?
I had to. Got to represent.
That's right.
No, I think that's it. I think we've covered everything.
Beautiful. Well, that's all for the emergency episode of Innings Insights. Again, we told you this was going to happen. We were ready for it. I brought all this stuff because I had a feeling this was going to happen. I'm all the way in Hawaii right now. So anything can happen in baseball. You got to be prepared. So be prepared by turning on notifications for when we upload. Be sure to stay tuned for more breaking news, analysis, and updates from the baseball world. And thanks for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. Just make sure, please hit the subscribe button, share with your friends, family. Just let us know how we're doing. Let us know if you got anything else for us. So until next time, we will see you then. Bye-bye.